Welcome to SBN. I am your host, S. Soden. Happy Memorial Day weekend, guys. This year is flying by. This Madden season has flown by. Before we get to Madden, though, I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend, a safe Memorial Day weekend, and let's take a minute just to acknowledge all the men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we could be here today as Americans and, just enjoy the simple things in life. So this Memorial Day weekend, make sure you remember those who are no longer with us. That's huge to me. That's huge to a lot of other people. So again, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to those that have given the ultimate sacrifice for this great nation. And without further ado, week number 9, season 94 in Soden Bowl. This season is absolutely flying by. In the chat, guys, go ahead and post your top 10s. You can play along with me. You can do it however you really want to. I do have the chat open on another screen here in the SBN studios, so I can kind of keep an eye on real time what's going on. So let's go ahead and pay some bills here first. So, SBN sponsored by, of course, the Soden Bowl Network and Alpha's Unfiltered. Great show, guys. If you haven't had a chance to check him out and you don't live in a safe space, it's a great show for you. If you like safe spaces and pink unicorns and snowflakes and all sorts of filtered stuff, you probably don't want to tune in. He may hurt your ears. No, seriously, great show, great dude. He has a lot of good insight, good football knowledge, good gaming knowledge as well. Sponsored by Allied Plumbing and Heat, a name you can trust. If you're in the Colorado Springs area, you're looking for some plumbing or heating, these are the guys to call. Veteran owned and operated. Cool bunch of guys. And then, of course, we've got The Huddle with Big Al, our number one show right now. He's absolutely killing it. He provides a statistical analysis of the Soden Bowl Sim League. It's imagine like an ESPN meets NFL Films. just great analysis, great stats, and he's also really good at predicting the draft each year. So if you're looking for some kind of inside edge into top draft picks, he's your guy. This guy is one of the best drafting gurus I have ever met. And of course, sponsored by League Crawler. This organization, if you are operating an online franchise in Madden, Fortnite, a whole slew of games, you got to be registered on leaguecrawler.com. These guys are great. They provide excellent tools for you to recruit from, for you to advertise your outlet, your game, your league, whatever it is. Check these guys out. He does a fantastic job. We've been using him all year. We've been using him for a couple years. Just a cool dude and a great website with fantastic tools for you to recruit from, to advertise, like I said before. And then Discord. We run everything from the SBN studios to Soden Bowl Sim League. We run it all on Discord. If you're out there and you're looking for an awesome chat for your league or your group or whatever it is, check out Discord. It's free. It also works great with OBS, what I'm broadcasting on right now. Just a really good application. Works great on the smartphone. So Discord, check it out. And of course, YouTube. Presented, we're one of the YouTube partners in SBN, so we love what YouTube provides for us. It gives us a podium, so to speak, so that we can broadcast to our listeners and have our voices heard. So really cool social media tool, YouTube Gaming. Check it out. If you guys are an aspiring league, I really highly suggest that any digital media that you guys come up with, any videos, put them on YouTube, man. You can't go wrong with YouTube. And then of course Madden Accords. Madden Accord, another hub for online franchises, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, for the Madden genre. These guys do a fantastic job of getting everybody together, and just giving it like one big hub for everybody to recruit from, brag about your league, maybe check out what other leagues are doing, or this is a great tool for them too. Maybe you have an opening and you have a guy who's interested in joining your league, but you're not sure if this guy's legit or if this guy might be a cancer to a league. So they actually have a bad owners list out there. You can look at some of the feedback that other leagues have given owners and see if, okay, well, maybe this guy's not the right fit for me. And it's just a really cool place. And it's really cool to go talk football. They run on a Discord server. So check out Madden Accord. You can check it out on the sodenbowl.com website. We have a link to the Madden Accord Discord chat. And then our partner, our PlayStation partner, the greatest PlayStation league or set of leagues that I've ever seen. These guys run one of the best Madden leagues, the OMFL. And then they run PUBG, golf. I mean, just about any game you can imagine on the PlayStation console. They run over there. Nate's the founding guru of grown folks. We have an interview with him. If you look back in our past videos, a really cool guy, down to earth guy. He runs the grown folks. He runs the OMFL. I saw the other day, I had the privilege of broadcasting the Super Bowl with these guys. I'll tell you, man, they are on it. They fantastic owners, some quality PlayStation players too. That Falcons owner, and then what was it? The Colts he was playing. Just two really good teams going head to head. Really good owners. It was a pleasure to announce the game. It was a pleasure to work with Nate. Just a really good league. So if you're a PlayStation guy and you're looking for a place to play, check out the Grown Folks. Again, you can find the link to that on our website as well, sodenbowl.com. You will see a link to the Grown Folks online community. And then if you're looking for a Madden team, you move into the OMFL. These guys have been doing it for a long time, long time. They've been doing it actually longer than us. I know we're on our 94th season. I think they're on their 85th or 86th season, but they have way more than that. They haven't been tracking them since day one. They started before the age of of internet apparently. So, no, I'm just kidding. But no, they've been around a lot longer. They're a good bunch of guys. Definitely check them out. And then last but not least, Daddy Leagues. So you have a Madden League, and I believe they also host baseball too, but we use them for Madden. You have a Madden League. Let's say you're at work, you want to check out the stats for a game maybe that just finished, and you can't really do that on the EA app that they have right now for Madden 19. However, Daddy Leagues does it, and it mirrors NFL.com. So you can actually go in, check out the ratings of players. You can check out their stats. You can check out standings, power rankings. It's just a whole slew of things. They even give you your own website to use, so you can configure this website to look like NFL.com. Or if you check out the Grown Folks online community, if you check out the OMFL league on Daddy Leagues, wow, that thing looks fantastic. They have like little like flash headers above it. You hover over it with the mouse, and all of a sudden the stats change. It's really cool. So just a really good tool for you aspiring Madden commissioners. Definitely need to have your league on daddyleagues.com. And thank you to Daddy Leagues for providing this service to leagues like ours and MBL, Grown Folks, all these leagues out there. The MSR, another great league. The XMFL guys, some cool guys over there. Yep, I gave you a plug, SY. But yeah, just a good tool, guys. So this is our sponsors here. Without these guys, we wouldn't be half of what we are today. So without further ado, enough talk. Let's get into my top 10, starting at number 10. Number 10, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, uh, the Alpha Heel 7. He is 5-3. I had the privilege of broadcasting his game this morning. Good. It went to overtime versus You're Blessed. Either owner could have won this thing. A couple crazy Madden lurks kind of decided that game. Don't take any credit away from what You're Blessed did in that game. He definitely deserved to win the game, but it could have went either way, and that could have affected my power rankings a little bit more. But I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 10. They have the seventh ranked offense in the league, averaging 25 points per game. Yardage wise, they're number one in total yardage and passing yardage. So they average 349.6 yards per game on offense, and that's 247.3 through the air. And then they also have the 15th ranked defense. They're only allowing 19 points per game. So they're scoring 25 and allowing 19. That's a really, really good average. Now, looking at this team depth chart-wise, their top player, Jalen Ramsey, he's a 98 overall. So if you're going to throw on this team, beware, because you have the best corner in football kind of lurking back there. And then, of course, they have Leonard Fournette, who's an 89 overall, just a workhorse who can get it done. And then Brandon Linder, an 88 overall, kind of rounds out this list. And let's not forget about Miles Jack. Miles Jack's back there in the linebacking core. He sits at an 86 overall. Looking at this Jaguars stats, Josh Rosen is the starting quarterback. He acquired him via trade. Rosen's having a fantastic year. He has 1,682 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. And again, that's through 9 weeks. I do believe they did have their bye. And then we have Fournette, who's ran for almost 500 yards, 499 yards on the ground for Fournette. And he has 5 rushing touchdowns. And then we have David Montgomery coming out of the backfield with an additional 243 yards and 4 touchdowns. Both these backs are averaging over 4 yards per carry. So they have a fantastic 1-2 punch. Looking at the receivers, you've got, Alpha's going to kill me for butchering this name, but you got Laviska Shenault at wide receiver with 27 catches, 445 yards. He is his receiving leader. And then, of course, you got Marcus Lee and Marcus Brown, Austin Safarian Jenkins back there, and Ben Koyak rounds it out for his receiving leaders. And then Jalen Ramsey leads in interceptions with 3. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are doing a good job. We're going to take a look at the schedule here and see what the Jaguars have done. The Jaguars, as I said, they just lost to the Colts in overtime 26-20. They are fresh. Before that, they're fresh off a big victory in Oakland. They took down the Raiders 34-10. And then before that, they took out a red-hot Bears team 20-6. So this team's for real, guys. They that 5-3 record might be a little bit deceiving, but these are my Jacksonville Jaguars. This team will be a playoff team. They will make a run into the playoffs. So at number 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving on, number 9. Number 9, I have the Dolphins, coached by one of my favorite coaches to watch, Mr. Witness 36. They are 5-2. They are cruising right now. This Dolphins team, roster-wise, they're pretty good. Statistical-wise, they're the 12th ranked offense, 22 points per game, and their 8th ranked defense at 17 points per game allowed. Their defensive categories look better than their offensive categories. They allow about 218 total yards per game. That ranks 3rd. And only 144 passing yards per game. Again, that ranks 3rd as well. Now, their offense, their passing game is the worst in the league. They only average 150.9 yards passing per game. Again, that's 32nd in the league. However, they do have the number 3 running game with 118.9 yards per game rushing. This team is sitting in 2nd place right now in the AFC East. They are tied with the New England Patriots at 5-2. Now, the Patriots did beat them earlier in the season, beat them pretty handily too. So he's going to have to bounce back. Now, one of the biggest acquisitions of the offseason was Bobby Wagner, 96 overall. He comes over for $12.85 million a year to play for the Miami Dolphins and to shore up this defense. And this defense is actually loaded. The offense could use a little bit of help. They do have Kyler Murray. Murray's having an okay season. He has 1170 passing, 1,170 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The running game, they have Balaj back there. He has 507 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.6 yards per carry. Kyler Murray is their second leading rusher with 241 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this team can run on you, but the passing game is where they struggle. So if you were playing this Dolphins team, you got to sit on the run. You got to force Murray to throw the ball downfield. Kenny Stills is their leading receiver with 347 yards, but he doesn't have any touchdowns. Bobby Wagner is kind of the leader in just about everything here on the team. He leads in tackles, sacks, and he has 4 interceptions on the season. No real injuries to speak of here in Miami. Miami is sitting in second place in the AFC East. So I have the Dolphins and Mr. Witness at 5-2. They are ranked number 9 on my list. Moving into number 8. Number 8, I have the New England Patriots and T. Hoyt 51. He's 5-2. He's tied for the lead in the AFC East with those Miami Dolphins. Now, like I said before, he did beat the Dolphins. He beat them pretty handily. Mr. Hoyt is coming off of a Super Bowl win with the Raiders. He stepped up from his defensive coordinator position. You all know the story. Stepped up, faced that vaunted Packers team led by Kilo Wren, and took him down in the Super Bowl, and then took on a head coaching position with the New England Patriots. He's sitting at 5-2, tied for first. He has the 3rd ranked offense in the league. He's scoring 28 points per game. But his defense is faltering a bit. His defense is ranked 26th. They're allowing 24 points per game, so 28 and 24. You do the math, that average isn't great. So he's got a lot of close games here. Looking at the offense, the running game, the Patriots' running game is the heartbeat of this offense. They have the 4th ranked rushing attack. They still have Tom Brady back there. Tom Brady's a 96 overall. He is getting it done. He hasn't hit 1,000 yards this season. He's at 913 yards passing. And then they have the rookie Joshua Dobbs. Dobbs is thrown for 736 and 6 touchdowns. So they're getting a little bit of quarterback play out of Dobbs, getting him some experience. The story of this offense is Sony Michel. Sony Michel has 528 running yards. He's averaging 6.2 yards per carry, and he has 5 touchdowns. And then you have the 3rd down receiving back, James White. White's got 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 5 yards per carry. And then you have a rookie wide receiver, Deshaun Hamilton. Hamilton leads the Patriots with 447 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is their top threat. After that, you have Josh Gordon. Gordon's right behind him with 426 yards and 4 touchdowns. The defense is led by Chris Harris Jr., who was traded. They actually swapped cornerbacks back in year 1 with the Denver Broncos. So Happy Gilmore goes over to Denver, and Chris Harris comes over to New England, and Harris is having a good year. He leads the team with 2 picks. He's not really being thrown at too much, so he still maintains that lockdown corner position. So the Patriots, I have New England sitting at number 8 in our power rankings, and I really think they're in cruise control in that AFC East. I do see Mr. Witness giving him a little bit of a run for his money, but he has that one head-to-head victory, so I really think that the Patriots can pull out this AFC East, and a T. Hoyt 51 in the playoffs is a tough put-out for anybody. So number 8, the New England Patriots. Moving into number 7. Number 7, I have the Los Angeles Rams and Lurk God 201. He is 6-2, playing at an extremely high level here with his Los Angeles Rams. Looking at this team, now the Rams have a pretty good roster, especially on defense. This Rams team right now is sitting tied for first place in the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals. Both teams are at 6-2, and the Cardinals currently lead the tiebreaker because they beat the Rams earlier in the season. This Rams team is led by Aaron Donald. Donald is a 98 overall, and he is an absolute force up the middle. He allows the Rams to do a lot of different things on defense because he takes two blockers just to keep him away from the quarterback for 3 seconds so you can get rid of the dang ball. And if you want to run up the middle, watch out because you have Aaron Donald and Namdeh Suh, two of the best defensive tackles in football. And this Rams team also has Todd Gurley at a 97 overall. So this team can bring it. Jared Goff, 1,875 yards passing and 16 touchdowns. He's having a Pro Bowl season. Todd Gurley's got 112 carries, 620 yards. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. And the receiving leader, the speed demon, Brandon Cooks. Cooks has 611 yards and 5 touchdowns and a gaudy 25.5 yards per catch. And then this defense is led by Michael Pickney. He has 35 tackles and a league-leading 16 sacks. You listening, crowd pleaser? He has the leader in sacks this season. Normally, crowd pleaser leads the league with Return of the Mac. But right now, it's Michael Pickney, 16 sacks. He has 3 forced fumbles and 4 interceptions. So he is playing Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame caliber football out of the middle linebacker position. Now, the Rams do have an injury on defense. Samson Ekibom is out. He's an 81 overall. He is their outside linebacker. He is out for 8 weeks. So the Rams are dealing with a bit of an injury on defense. But again, this defense is loaded. The Rams have the number 5 offense. They're scoring a lot of points. They average 25 points per game. And then their defense is ranked 3rd. They're only allowing 14 points per game. So they're scoring 25 and allowing 14. That is a championship average between offense and defense. The Rams rank 5th in yardage, and in defense, yards allowed, their average is about 22nd. They allow about 272.9 yards per game allowed, but you know what? It's about points. You're not going to win games with yards. So I will take that 3rd ranking, only allowing 14 points per game. I will take that to the bank. I don't care if they're ranked 32nd in yards. Points is what wins football games. The Rams can score them, and they are not allowing them on defense. So moving into number 6, here. Number 6 is the Arizona Cardinals. King X Booker. He is 6-2. He did slip a little bit. I had him inside my top 5, and then he was upset last week by the Buffalo Bills. So that one kind of dropped him a little bit from where he could have been right now. Still a fantastic owner. He's playing with a team, that's not the best depth chart-wise or Madden attributes-wise, but you wouldn't know it by watching him play. He has the number 1 offense in the league, averaging 29 points per game, and the 10th ranked defense, only allowing 18 points per game. So again, you know that championship average, he has it. He ranks 3rd in yardage, 317.9 yards per game, and he has the number 1 running attack in football. And then looking at the defensive side, again, he gives up some yards, much like the Rams do. He's ranked 16th. He allows 265 yards per game, but I will take the points, and everybody else can have the yards. Looking at this team, you have David Johnson at running back. You have Nick Bosa at end, Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Stafford's thrown for 1,830 yards and 13 touchdowns. David Johnson cruising into a 1,000-yard season. He should achieve that pretty easily. He has 623 running yards through 9 weeks, 8 weeks after his bye. And he's averaging 5.1 yards per carry and 8 touchdowns. So he's having a fantastic year. Riley Ridley leads the team in receiving with 26 catches, 560 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he is over 21.5 yards per catch. And then the rookie, Jared Jeudy, 25 catches, 518 yards, 20.7 yards per catch, and 4 more touchdowns from him. So these two guys should eclipse 1,000 yards. Looking at the defense here, the defense on the depth chart is led by Bosa. However, Buda Baker is having a great year. 23 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. So he's having a good year, and no real injuries to speak of. Now the Cardinals do sit atop the NFC West at 6-2. They hold the tiebreaker over the Los Angeles Rams. So this team, this Arizona Cardinals team, is for real. I see these guys cruising into the playoffs, and I really think they can take this NFC West. It's going to be a slugfest with the Rams. Lurk God is going to come back in Game 2 versus the Cardinals, and he's going to be prepared. So I can't wait to see those two play again. So number 6, I have King X Booker and his Arizona Cardinals. Moving into my top 5. At number 5, I have the Indianapolis Colts, led by Hall of Fame head coach. You're blessed. 6-2. His Indianapolis Colts pulled off a heck of a victory today. If you didn't get a chance to catch that game, look back in our past videos. I was able to broadcast the second half of this game. I didn't realize the game was going on at the time. I caught it from the second half on, him and the Jacksonville Jaguars, two top AFC teams going at it, AFC South teams. But this Indianapolis Colts team, they do have a rookie quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. He has 1,836 yards passing, 11 touchdowns. He does struggle with accuracy from time to time, but that's to be expected with a rookie. He is really playing at an elite level right now, especially for a rookie quarterback. Hines leads his team in running with 178 yards. And then Philip Dorsett is his number 1 wide receiver. The speed demon has 555 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's cruising to a 1,000-yard season. And then Eric Ebron has really made a name for himself as far as being an elite tight end in Sim League. He has 30 catches, 460 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's playing at a Gronkowski type level right now for those Colts. So the Colts sport the 10th ranked offense. They score approximately 24 points per game. And they have the 5th ranked defense. This will be the second year in a row that the Colts sport a top 10 defense under head coach You're Blessed. They're allowing just 16 points per game. So again, 24 scored, 16 allowed. Looking at the defensive yards allowed, they rank 18th, so 265.6, but we know how that story goes. And then offensively, the story is their passing game, 230.3 yards passing per game with a rookie quarterback. That's pretty good. They do need to improve the run game a bit. They rank 28th in the run. They're only rushing for an average of 58.1 yards, but they're winning football games. They're 6-2. They are in first place, led by Hall of Fame head coach You're Blessed. Looking at this team, depth chart wise, they do not have anybody over a 90 overall. 89 overall, Quentin Nelson is their best player, followed by Eric Ebron. Looks like T.Y. Hilton may have fell a little bit in the offseason. He's an 86 overall. So he's doing a good job. You're Blessed is doing a really good job with this team. Now, if you're looking at the wide receivers here, this is one of the fastest wide receiver crews you'll find. They have Philip Dorsett, Martavius Bryant, T.Y. Hilton. This team is loaded on offense, especially on the wide receiver core. So once 2-0 comes around a bit, matures a little bit, this team's going to be a force. Think of like a Peyton Manning led Colts team. That's what this team reminds me of, especially going into next season. So that is my number 5 team, the Indianapolis Colts, sitting at 6-2. Moving into number 4. Number 4, the Carolina Panthers, and number 1 draft pick, 6-1. This guy is playing off the hook. I don't think he's lost a game since he took over the Carolina Panthers early in the season. He turned this franchise around, and a very dominant user right now. He's ranks number 9 in the league in offense, scoring 24 points per game. And then on defense, he ranks 2nd in the league. He's only allowing 11 points per game. That's just crazy. And his yards are there to back it up. So we don't have to have this argument of yards versus points. He's only allowing 239.4 yards per game. That ranks fourth. And he has the second best run defense at 55.7. Offensively, his run game and pass game are really, really well mixed up. He averages approximately 200 yards passing per game and 100 yards running per game. So those kind of numbers will get it done. Now, looking at this team depth chart-wise, you have the all-world linebacker Luke Kuechly, 99 overall. And then you have Christian McCaffrey, running back at 93 overall. So that's why they're being able to run the ball so well. McCaffrey's really progressed nice. So this Carolina Panthers team, they are 6-1. They sit in first place in the NFC South. They have a 2-game lead over the Atlanta Falcons. Your mom's Atlanta Falcons. So he's doing a good job. Cam Newton has 1,515 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. So he's having a good year. Christian McCaffrey, 366 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then they have Darrell Henderson. Henderson has 237 yards and 4 touchdowns. So they're balancing the football really well in the run game. Receiving-wise, Curtis Samuel, he leads the team with 533 yards receiving, averaging 24.2 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. So having a good year. And then you have Luke Kuechly on defense, 29 tackles. He has a sack. He has 3 forced fumbles and 3 interceptions. So he's really getting it done on defense. The Carolina Panthers are causing turnovers and winning football games. They have a pretty good control of that NFC South. So I really like this Carolina Panthers team to win the division and make a run for, a first round bye in the NFC. And then let's see, moving into my number 3. Number 3 is another dominant NFC team here. We have the number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philly Special. Rye McBreezy at 7-1. He lost his first game last week. He played Kilo Wren's Green Bay Packers, and he did get lit up. It was a bit of a blowout, but we all have those type of games. And the Eagles, to me, are the number 2 team in the NFC, mainly because they have one more win than the Carolina Panthers, but I've watched a few of their games. He's very talented. This Eagles team sports the number 15 offense and the number 6 defense. They're scoring 20 points per game and allowing 16, so the average is a bit close. They do have the number 2 running attack in the league, 104.9. They're literally 1 yard away per game on average away from the number 1 spot. This team is led by Fletcher Cox, 94 overall. Fletcher is a force, as you all know, in the middle there. And then, of course, Zach Ertz, another one of those dominant Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski-style tight ends. Ertz is a 92 overall. And then, looking down this team in the division, the Philadelphia Eagles, they sit at 7-1. They have a 2-game lead over the New York Giants, who are 4-3. They have a 2-game lead in the loss column. But, depending how this week plays out, they could open that to a 3-game lead. And then the Cowboys and the Redskins are kind of falling off the map here. So this Eagles team's running away with this NFC East. Carson Wentz is having a great year. He's thrown for 897 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then they're also using Nick Foles. Foles has 384 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jay Ajayi is the leader of the running attack here. He has 400 yards even with a 5.1 yard average. And then Boston Scott is their third down back. He has 197 yards, and he has the lone lead rushing touchdown for the Eagles. Again, this receiver core is fantastic. You have Alshon Jeffrey, who has 18 catches, 420 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 23.3 yards per catch. Then you have Ertz, Aguilar, Goddard, and Boston Scott all kind of bringing up the rear here for the Eagles, but it's spread out pretty evenly as far as the passing attack goes. They do have some injuries here. Yeah, actually, one of the big ones I kind of overlooked here was Carson Wentz is actually out for 34 weeks. So they are using Nick Foles right now. So that is a huge injury for the Eagles. However, they are still winning football games. They have Gruger Hill is out, their middle linebacker, for 5 weeks. He's a 72 overall, so I'm sure the Eagles can fill that spot. They do have some good depth on defense. So this, to me, at number 3, is a very, very talented Philadelphia Eagles team led by Rye McBreezy. I think he's going to breeze to an NFC East title. He may be one of the quicker ones to clinch it, but we'll see. So number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Moving into number 2. Number 2, we have the Denver Broncos, led by myself, S. Soden, Hall of Fame head coach, 7-1. That one loss came to the Tennessee Titans 2 weeks ago and ran into a buzzsaw. Coach Waffle House, he had his Titans team ready to play. He took advantage of a bad game by Jarrett Stidham and just was able to win that game pretty easily. I think he won by 10 points. So number 2, I have the 7-1 Denver Broncos. Looking at this Denver team, they have a huge improvement from last year offensively. Last year, they ranked 25th in offense. This year, they rank 8th. They're scoring 24 points per game. They have the second rated yards. So they're rated second in yards on offense with 337.3 yards per game. They have the second rated passing attack, 235 yards per game, ranks them second, and they have the 7th ranked rush attack at just over 100 yards, 102.3. Now, this is the number 1 defense again. They are ranked number 1 in points allowed. Last year, they finished at 7.5 points allowed per game. This year, they're sitting at 9 points per game allowed, so they're scoring 24 and only allowing 9. Again, that's a championship average. Looking at the yards kind of back up their points. So they rank second, only allowing 180.5 yards. And they have the second rated pass defense and the 4th rated run defense. Now, that Denver Broncos team, as we all know, is led by Von Miller. Von Miller's a 99 overall. And again, he's a sack master back there. He's a big reason why this Denver Broncos defense is as good as they are. And then they have a second 99 overall. They have Rob Gronkowski in his second year with the Denver Broncos. He's having a great year again. He was a 1,000-yard receiver last year for the Broncos. And then in the offseason, they picked up Damon Harrison, Snacks Harrison, 97 overall, so sitting at defensive tackle. And then, that secondary, this is where a lot of teams struggle versus the Broncos, is that secondary. They have 2 all-pro corners. They have A.J. Boye at 91 and Stephon Gilmore, Happy Gilmore, at 89 overall. So be careful if you're throwing at this team. You may want to work the slot if you're going to go against them. The Denver Broncos are 7-1. They are cruising right now in the AFC West. They've already beaten everybody in the AFC West. They've beaten the Raiders twice. They've beaten the Chiefs and Chargers once each. Right now, the Denver Broncos have a 3-game lead over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are yet to play, so it could be a 4-game lead. And then they already have a 4-game lead over the Chiefs and Raiders. Stidham's having a Pro Bowl season again this year. He was the number 1 rated passer last year. He is right now he was in second place going into the week behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers did have a bit of a struggle last week against the Bears, or this week against the Bears. So Jarrett Stidham right now actually is the number 1 rated passer. Now he has 1,941 yards passing, 12 touchdowns to just 3 picks, so he's having a great year. 76% passing, which also leads the league. Philip Lindsay, he's on his way to his second 1,000-yard season. He has 539 yards. He's averaging 5.9 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns. And then Royce Freeman. Freeman's been coming on strong in the last few weeks. He's had back-to-back 100-yard games. And Freeman sits at 254 yards running. He also averages 5.9 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. So he's a bit of a goal line weapon for the Denver Broncos. And then looking at the receivers, Kenny Galladay from Detroit continues to be a weapon for the Denver Broncos, especially in his second year with the Broncos. He's cruising to a 1,000-yard season as well. He has 519 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, and he averages 20 yards per catch. And then Cortland Sutton, 433 yards. He has 4 touchdowns. And then we were talking about Rob Gronkowski. Gronkowski, he may not get 1,000 yards this season. but he's still having a great season for a tight end. He has 334 yards receiving. He is yet to score a touchdown, which is pretty phenomenal. Last year, he actually led the Denver Broncos in touchdowns with 7. Defensively, this Broncos team is led by Telvin Smith Sr. and Von Miller. So Von Miller is your pass rushing specialist. He has 3 sacks right now, and Telvin Smith has 1 sack, but he has 4 interceptions. So Smith's getting it done. The Denver Broncos have no real injuries to speak of right now, so Denver's looking pretty solid. They are opening up a pretty wide lead in that AFC West, so look for Denver to win that AFC West. And currently they have the number 1 seed in the AFC by a couple games. Moving into number 1. Number 1, the highest rated team in my power ratings this week is the Green Bay Packers, led by Hugs and Kisses, Kylo Ren. He is undefeated, 8-0. The only person to really give him a game was the Tennessee Titans, who lost by 1 point. Aside from that, Kilo's done a good job of dominating most of his games. Aaron Rodgers is having a Pro Bowl season. He's just points away from being the highest rated passer and completion percentage. And Kilo's getting it done. This Packers team does have some good players. He just pulled off a trade at the trade deadline. He was able to pick up Le'Veon Bell from the New York Jets. He did pick up a 3rd-round pick in this year's upcoming draft, but he gave away a couple good receivers. So we're going to see how that plays out. Looking at this, he lost Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. He lost his number 2 receiver and his number 5 receiver. But he picks up Le'Veon Bell. I mean, like Kylo Ren needs any more weapons here, guys. So this team, top players, David Bakhtiari on the offensive line is a 98 overall. And then, of course, all-world quarterback, future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, 94 overall. And then Le'Veon Bell. Thanks, Jets. Sending Le'Veon Bell, 94 overall, to the Green Bay Packers. Now they have Rodgers, Bell. This team is for real. Kenny Clark rounds it out at 93. Looking at this Packers team, the Packers have the 2nd rated offense, 29 points per game, and they have the 4th rated defense, allowing just 15 points per game, so they're almost doubling the points they're allowing. Looking at yardage-wise, again, their yards back up both their offense and defensive rankings. Yards, they rank 4th with 312.8 yards per game that they do on offense. And then on defense, they rank 6th in yardage allowed. 234.3 yards allowed per game. This Packers team, they are for real. They are the best team right now in Soden Bowl Sim League. These guys are going to have a target on their back. And let's not forget, the Packers were in the Super Bowl last season. This Green Bay Packers team, led by Kylo Ren, they should have won the Super Bowl, in my opinion. They lined up for the game-winning field goal and just straight missed it in the Super Bowl, went to overtime, had a shot in overtime, did not execute, and then we had the long run play by T. Hoyt to win that game. I really felt that this Packers team is the best, the most talented team from a sticks point of view that I've played. I played him last year, and him and I had a very, very close game, and he intercepted me in the red zone to seal the win for him. And then I look back on it, and I missed a wide open Rob Gronkowski, but I missed him because he fooled me with his play on the safety. I really felt like he was going to cover Gronk, and he pulled off of him at the last second and stepped in front of a streaking Lindsey and intercepted the ball. And then he cruised on to win every single game last year, except for the Super Bowl. His only loss in his Soden Bowl Sim League career is the Super Bowl. And he lost in overtime to arguably one of the best players in the league as well, from a stick skills point of view. He lost to T. Hoyt. So this guy's for real. Aaron Rodgers has 1,737 passing yards and 16 touchdowns. And then Aaron Jones is cruising. He's going to have 1,000 yards this year, barring injury. 490 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a 5.1 yards per carry. And then Randall Cobb. Cobb is the 2nd rated receiver in the league in yardage with 690 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 20.9 yards per reception. The only person having a better game for a better season than Randall Cobb is Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. Aside from that, Randall Cobb's getting it done. Blake Martinez on defense, he's recording 6 sacks, 21 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Jonathan Jones and Jari Alexander each lead the team with 3 interceptions apiece. The Green Bay Packers are healthy. They just picked up Le'Veon Bell. It's unreal. This team, this team is for real. They are my number 1 team. Let's take a look at the chat here. So we have Jacob Horn, who's his top 10 right now is Denver at number 1, the Eagles at number 2, the Packers at number 3, the Jaguars at number 4, the Panthers at number 5, the Cardinals at number 6, the Patriots at number 7, the Tennessee Titans at number 8. Now, I can agree with that. The record doesn't back it. However, the games that he's played, he's lights out, man. Do not sleep on Waffle House. If you have to play the Titans, you better bring your A game. And then he's got the Colts at 9 and the Cincinnati Bengals at number 10. I like that Bengals team too. He's on vacation, so he lost the game this week. He won't be back till Monday night. That Cincinnati Bengals owner, Y-Rock, he'll be right back in this top 10 once he wins another game. And then we have King X Gaming, the Arizona Cardinals owner. He has the Packers at number 1, the Eagles at number 2, the Broncos at number 3, the Panthers at 4, the Rams at 5, the Jaguars at 6, the Cardinals at 7, the Colts at 8, the Bengals at 9, and the Titans at 10. So there they are. The Titans are popping up in that top 10 again. And I know that he's a pretty modest guy. He has his Cardinals ranked 7th, but the Cardinals, I think, need to move up a bit, but he's not going to move himself ahead of those other people because that's just not who he is. So those are our chat right now, our top 10. If you guys have a top 10, post it in the chat because both these guys are going to receive 100 SBPs for providing me with their top 10s in the chat. So if you guys want to pick up some SBPs, post your top 10 in the chat. All right. So we have an announcement. We have 2 brand new shows to the SBN lineup. So currently we have our number 1 show is The Huddle with Big Al. Then we have Alphas Unfiltered with the Alpha Heel 7. And then we have myself and Alpha who do the SBN Thursday night. Usually we do interviews or league topics. This week we didn't really do too much this week. It was a busy week for all of us with the league. We were unable to get an interview for this week, so we're looking at a pretty good interview for next week. Stay tuned. We'll announce that pretty soon. But adding to the list, we have Force Fumble with Kylo Ren. So what this show is imagine a NFL Films breakdown of each game. What he does is he picks a game each week, and he takes all the replays, puts them together, and kind of makes a compilation of the plays of the game, and then he breaks them down, and he really, really is good at describing why, in this case, the Green Bay Packers are winning 14-0. He'll show you the plays. He'll show you the mismatches. He does a good job of breaking down games. And, oh, by the way, he's undefeated. So if you want to get some pointers, Kylo Ren's Force Fumble is the newest show in our lineup. It looks like it's going to be a once-a-week type show. And then moving into our another show, this is going to be our 5th show. So Force Fumble is our 4th show in the lineup. Our 5th show, Art of War, from Crowd Pleaser 90 and Mr. Witness 36. Now, this is a nuts and bolts type show. This is a podcast only, so there's going to be no real visuals right now anyways. But what these guys are going to do is they're going to break down plays. They're going to break down why the Denver Broncos were able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Why were they able to do that? Why were the Packers able to beat the Bears? They're going to show you why. They're going to show you the plays. They're going to show you how to stop certain plays, how to take advantage of certain formations, how to pick up blitzes, basically the art of war of Madden. So these guys are going to provide you with the doctrine you need to be successful inside the league, inside your other leagues, playing offline versus the CPU, playing in MUT, anywhere. And both these guys are very, very talented owners, by the way. Crowd Pleaser 90 has his Chicago Bears, and I believe he's 5-2 or 5-3. And then Mr. Witness 36, he's in our top 10 with his Miami Dolphins. He's done nothing but win since he's been here too. And if you want to see two good Madden heads go at it, this is a good one. Mr. Witness and Crowd Pleaser are going to bounce different plays off each other, and between the two of them, I'm sure they're going to get it right. So this is our 5th show in the lineup, Art of War, and then you have the previously mentioned Force Fumble, sorry. And then you have SBN Thursday night, and then you have Alpha's Unfiltered, and the Huddle with Big Al. So yeah, these two shows have a lot to live up to if they're trying to compare themselves to Big Al, but I have faith that these guys are going to be successful. Kilo Ren has already released one Forced Fumble episode on his own YouTube account. Now he's moving over to the SBN, and we are going to start featuring his breakdown of his games. And then Crowd Pleaser and Mr. Witness have already begun recording their first episode, so we look forward to the release of their first episode, hopefully this week. And it'll be very interesting to see what kind of insight they can provide us. So, in closing, it was our top 10, our Memorial Day top 10 edition. Again, be safe out there, guys. Thank you to all those men and women out there who have paid the ultimate sacrifice so I can sit here and talk your ear off on Memorial Day weekend. It's been a pleasure. This is my Week 9, Season 94 Power Rankings. Congratulations, Green Bay Packers. Kilo Ren on the number 1 position for 2 weeks in a row. We look forward to seeing what some of the other teams can do. Maybe we can have a couple other teams sneak in here. That's it, guys. I don't have anything else for you. That's it, man. Be good, be safe, and we'll see you next week. Later.